As a female CEO worth billions, I was determined to find a man who didn't love me for my money. So I disguised myself as a beggar and went out to the streets to search for my fated one. That evening, a man passing by after work saw me. He noticed I was young, yet curled up on the ground begging. He simply sighed, then tossed $10 into my bowl. The moment I looked up at him, I had a feeling maybe this man was the one. But as he turned to leave, I suddenly grabbed his sleeve, told him I couldn't even afford a ticket home, and begged him to give me another 100. He froze for a second. That was almost his entire day's wage. But seeing how pitiful I looked, he still gritted his teeth and handed over the last 100 from his wallet. I smiled and told him I wouldn't take his money for nothing. If he ever needed help, he could come find me. He glanced at my ragged clothes and figured I could barely survive, let alone help anyone. Just then, his phone rang. It was his mother, urging him to come home for a blind date. Turns out he had told her earlier. He was dating a powerful CEO in the city. Now his mom insisted he bring her home today. Otherwise, she'd force him to get engaged to the manipulative woman she preferred. And today just happened to be his mom's 60th birthday. Their house was filled with guests. Even the scheming woman was already there. Before he could explain anything, his mother had already hung up. He looked so troubled, because he truly didn't like that other woman. While he stood there lost in thought, he suddenly looked at me, gathered his courage and asked for a favor, to pretend to be his girlfriend. I didn't hesitate at all, but I gave him a condition. If we were going to meet his parents, I had to change clothes first. He immediately took me to a mall to buy something nice. When I walked out of the fitting room in a clean dress, he was completely stunned. He never imagined that the ragged beggar could be this breathtakingly beautiful. But the next second, the clerk snapped him out of it, saying the dress cost 8,280 years. He panicked and started counting his coins, embarrassment written all over his face. Seeing his awkwardness, my heart softened, so I simply pulled out my card and paid. He stared in shock, asking where I got the money. When I told him I was actually the chairman of a corporation, he froze, thinking I was just making it up. On the way to his house, to save money, he took me on a tractor. Along the way, he reminded me again and again, if his mother asked. I was a CEO earning millions a year, good at everything from butchering to cooking, because his mother cared deeply about appearances. As soon as we arrived, his mother was all smiles when she saw me, said I looked so blessed that I'd surely give her 8 grandkids. Right then, that scheming woman also showed up. She generously handed over a $50,000 red envelope and gifted a luxury car to his mom, sweet-talking that they'd soon be one family. But when she saw me, her smile froze. His mother introduced me right away, saying I was her son's girlfriend. A big boss in the city, the woman sneered. Said she'd worked in business for years and had never heard of me. Then publicly asked which company I owned. I gave a calm smile and said I rarely attended meetings, but that made her even more certain. I was just some small-time boss pretending to be rich. The air went tense. Just then, a group of men burst in, said the land under the old house had been sold, and demolition would start immediately for a resort. His mother was terrified, and quickly begged the scheming woman for help. After all, she was a GM at a major corporation. The woman held her head high, saying today was her future mother-in-law's birthday, and they should show respect by coming back another day. But the workers ignored her completely, and ordered demolition to begin. I couldn't stay quiet anymore.